on that because I have that's part of my project. Is not I have to. I decided that it's going to be one of my projects is I'm going to be discussing human trafficking with you guys. So anyhow, um, so the Spanish have a great history of this because they colonized so many different places and um, they gave themselves more value than others, and so they took over. In politics, it happens today. Politics, people that are conservative, people who are liberal, they do not have the same values, um, or they do in some sense, and they look down upon each other because they believe that their values are better than the other. Um, many people believe that we are equal and we deserve equal rights. But a lot of people don't. They're like, well, I'm white, you don't deserve this. Or I'm straight, you don't deserve this. So that's a lot on the conservative side, right? Like, I don't, this is just the honest truth. All right. So, um, let's discuss also people who gave themselves more value than they should have. And it went awry. Even with the colonizers, yes, it definitely went fucked. But let's discuss this. And that is, get ready for it. And it is. Hold on. Oh man, I should have done this. No, wait. None of these work. Oh, charismatic leaders. We're going to talk about them giving themselves so much value. Who are these people? Who are these men? Mostly men, I think it feels like it usually is. Like cult leaders. Let's talk about that. Hitler, Trump, Manson. These are people who have people follow them, and it turns into dangerous situations throughout histories. Hitler had many Jews killed because they did not believe the same way he did. Manson was a cult leader whose followers carried out several notorious murders. Trump has a country of people believing that his beliefs and his ways are what America needs. Even after he lost over a year ago and under his presidency, racism has come back out of the closet. There are also musicians, actors that are very charismatic as these men and women are, but they use their podium for good. If, for example, I'm going to be cheesy, I'm going to be gooey. Miss Taylor Swift, she gives her money to the needy. Like, just Google her name and the good things that she has done. She uses her charisma to do good things. Like recently during the president, what Jesus Christ, what year was it? And for Miss Americana, like the documentary that year, 2020. I'm trying to remember, but I don't remember. She came out of the closet as being a Democrat, and she had thousands and thousands of people register Democrat and vote in the Nashville decision on same-sex marriage. I believe it was. Yeah, that's what it was. So she did that. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I love her. I did not like her before until Red came out, and I've talked about this before. So if you're a new listener, popping in into season 3, or this is the first time you're hearing this, I did not care for her. I felt that her lyrics were very elementary. As being somebody who writes music, I know some of my music can be elementary as well, but because she was a kid, she was a child. But then when Red came out, she grew up, and that shit was my life. Red changed me. Red turned me into a Taylor Swift fan. And all of her albums after that, just like, I have a tradition of going to the store the day her record comes out and buying it. The last time I did that was for Lover, because Folklore and Evermore came out during the pandemic, so I wasn't really going anywhere. I still am not going anywhere. But I, am trying to leave the house. Anyways, that was just a little Taylor Swifting, because I'm a Swiftie. Um, So there's the dangers of that, of people being charismatic leaders and they give themselves way too much value over everybody else. And, they think about it. Hitler wiped out a lot of the Jews. Marilyn, Marilyn Manson, not Marilyn Manson. He had a bunch of people murdered, and then Trump is pretty much doing the same, having people murdered. He should be held accountable for his bullshit. Uh, he speaks to the uneducated. He loves the uneducated and racist and makes them do stupid things. It's history happening. Another part of giving yourself value is danger of insatiable desire. It's unstable, it's unsustainable for money and things that are meaningless is part of it, existential anxieties. This brings to the forefront of Bezos, Mr. Bezos, you guys, and his recent incidents in the news with his buying a yacht and about to dismantle a bridge so that he can pass through. Then, he's the same dude that freaking launched its New Shepard rocket. He has so much money he doesn't know what to do with it, so he's constantly pushing boundaries because he has the money to do so. Like, he makes more money. Like, even if he was taxed, even if he was gave out money, he'd still be one of the richest people in the world. The dismantling of the bridge is something that is very, very important here because it's making a lot of locals angry, and he can care less about that. He could care less about the history. He could care less about anything. All he wants to do is pass through with his big ass yacht. Fuck that dude. Excuse me. So then, did you know, this is 2016, but I'm sure the numbers have risen with the pandemic. There's epidemic levels of psychological issues in America. 1/3 of the people will be depressed, 12% are, and 1/3 are addicted to drugs and alcohol. So this is in 2016, but now because of the pandemic, I'm sure the levels of unhappiness are higher, and we look at the values that society has, and if they are attainable by an average individual, and they are not. They are not. Buying a house is unattainable. Having a good job, making good money, this is unattainable. They have us at levels of below average. I'm pretty sure the numbers are very high now with the pandemic, with drinking and drugs, because the American society glorifies drugs and drinking and sex in movies and culture, and that's a downfall. That's definitely going to be a downfall because these kids today are growing up thinking that this is a way of living. Like, Euphoria. Look at Euphoria. These people are I have not seen one episode, but from what I get from it, I get the gist of it. These are supposed to be high school students, and they're drugging and sexing, and kids today are very, 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 very impressionable, and so they're influenced on things. So they see this and they think that's really what's going on in life, but it is definitely not what's going on in life. So and America glorifies this drugs, drinking, and sex, and so that is something that's going to be in the long run fucked for us, because these kids are thinking that this is the way life is, but it's not. And so sexually transmitted diseases are gonna fucking pop up and be more. There's gonna be a lot more. I feel like that's what's gonna happen. So, but we're gonna, these are things that I learned over the weekend, and it's just ridiculous. And American society is looked down upon by a lot of other countries in the world. And it's no bueno. No bueno. So, I've been having some internet issues. I'm just going to go a little off subject now because I'm trying to work and my internet keeps going down, and I'm going to have to call my brother and be like, hey, next time you're over, can you look at our internet connection? Because he works for the cable company. I'm going to be like, It's going down during work. It's going down in the middle of the night when I'm trying to watch TV to go to sleep. Um, this isn't working. I put value on having internet connection. I need to get into this account and I can't. So yeah, the one thing that I'm really, really, really worried about and would like to know the numbers are about the psychological issues in America, especially going through the pandemic right now, because we are still in a pandemic. This is year 3. And as I said before, um, you know, it's through year 3 of people realizing that we're in a pandemic, but the pandemic, it was happening before then. There was shit already happening all over the world before the United States got on board because, Mr. Trump. I love the fact that when I'm watching news stations and they talk about Trump, because you know how they speak of presidents and past presidents and they still call them President Bush, President Clinton, President Obama. They still give them that name. That is their title. But with Trump, they call him Mr. Trump. They don't call him Mr. They don't call him President Trump, and I love it. I love it. So, anyhow. So yeah, I really wonder about these numbers of what they look like. And I could probably do a quick Google search, but I'm just, uh, I would just love it. So, definitely look into Dr. Sheldon Solomon. He is a pretty amazing speaker, professor. I would love to take a course by him or at least sit in. Maybe I can do that. Maybe I can go to wherever he is. He's in, where did it go? At Skidmore. He's at Skidmore, and he knows how to get you involved. He knows how to get you wanting to know more. And shit, I want to know more. I want to know where. I want to go to New York and just go and sit in on a class and just listen. Are they having classes? I don't know. I should look about that. So, Skidmore's in Saratoga Springs, New York, and he's been a teacher there for a very long time. Because from what I remember, it said the 80s. I'm trying to remember. But he's been doing shit for a long time. So, I'm just trying to get into this account so I can work. I'm like double working here. Okay, so somebody already processed this payment, so I don't. Sorry. Shouldn't be discussing this. I should be only doing one thing, but guess what? I can't only be doing one thing. I'm always doing something else when I'm doing a podcast. And because I'm doing it during work hours, I am doing work and ow, I just kicked something. I'm always doing something else because I'm always feeling that I need to be doing something. Like, I need to be multitasking here. So yeah, I would love to go here and talk, and I think you guys should look into him. His name is Dr. Sheldon Solomon. Look him up on the YouTubes. He's an amazing speaker, and he gets you motivated to want to know more. It's awesome. He gets you at least for me, like he's a motherfucker that comes out with a like AC/DC shirt or Led Zeppelin, some classic rock band t-shirt, and his hair's a little bit long, fucking looks like David Lee Roth. He's a great speaker, and I can't wait for his book to come because I would love to know more, especially for the fact it's 9/11. Like, I don't know if you've ever listened to any of the podcasts about conspiracy theories on my shows, but I really do believe that it was an inside job. And like I said in the last episode, that they're gonna fucking ban me from talking, but I'm not on fucking, the issues going on with Spotify with, who. So I'm not on that misinformation person. I make sure to give out the information that are from reputable sites. I'm not a piece of shit. Oh, damn. Did I just say that? So anyhow, I do appreciate my listeners